Well, welcome into Gemini season. How are you guys doing? We are kicking off another air sign, Gemini world. All y'all who have any sun, moon, rising, and Venus in Gemini, or if you have a lot of planets in the third house, naturally ruled by Gemini, if you have a progressed Gemini, if you have a North Node in Gemini, anything that's Gemini. Right now we're going to talk about that energy that's going on, and I think it behooves us to learn the zodiac as a bunch of pairs, learn the houses as a bunch of pairs, and I mean collaboration. Okay, so Gemini and Sagittarius are collaborating, Aries and Libra are collaborating. If you look at astrology and if you look at your own birth chart and your transit chart in this way, it's going to make a lot of sense over the course of time, because I'm going to give you a little secret to understanding astrology. If we're going into Gemini season and you're like freaked out because you're have a lot of earth energy, or you just know that Gemini feels a little like, woo, ungrounded to you, then the thing is, it's time to balance that energy, and how you balance it is with its opposite, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about exploration and learning. And so it is airy energy, you're correct. But if you're an earth sign, you can ground yourself more. If you're a water sign, you can flow with it more. But work on the Sagittarius part of this also, because it will help you understand it better for yourself. And like, obviously I have a Gemini moon and I also have a Gemini North Node. So it's all about understanding for me. And that's what balances me. It's about understanding. Knowledge is power is my motto, which is why I even started this YouTube channel. So knowledge is power, coming at you from Gemini season. All right, so let's keep going here. I'll talk more about how you work with astrology as we go through this reading and other readings, just to give you a sense. And if that opens up a little bit of a can of worms for you, then I think that's a good thing, because I think astrology is a little bit rabbit hole like you could just keep following it forever. Say yes to the open door. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Say yes to your open door. The phoenix rises in joyful abundance. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Bloom where you're planted. I love that this is kind of an earth energy because of what I was talking about. These are very fluid. They're light energy, saying yes, joyful abundance. This is more fire than say yes to the open door. But then we get this nice bloom where you're planted. So if you have the tendency, if you're like me, have a lot of air and a lot of fire, then earth is your friend. You want to learn how to incorporate earth energy into your experience, especially if you have all that air and fire, because it will help it take root. It will help your ideas take flight. It will help your manifesting. It will help everything. Likewise, conversely, if you have a lot of earth and have a lot of water, then you do want to introduce more air and fire, because it will help those things to make sense, to keep moving, not to get stuck, right? To, keep going forward. It's going to unroot it a little bit. Sometimes we get root bound if we're too rooted, right? And we're too stagnant, which is the lower vibration of earth and water. If we're too stagnant, then things get gross. I believe that's a technical term. Things get gross. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah. All right, there's Capricorn energy underneath, and look at this, the balancing energy. I love that. So the devil energy, Capricorn, Saturn, is about rules and restrictions. I'm going to do a little video pretty soon. I'll put the link right here about the 3 things to watch out for in June. And one of those things does have to do with Saturn. So we'll talk about that more in that video. But this justice energy is, if you've been walking a tightrope with things recently and feeling kind of stuck, it's better to understand it more like a Libra. So understanding it like a Libra, what do I mean by that? So if you have too much of this Saturnian energy and you want to change things, what can happen is, okay, so this is more about rules and restrictions. You could be deciding to really just throw out the book. Like, I'm going to do nothing like I used to do it or anything like that. But that's not really going to be helpful. What's going to be helpful is balance. Okay? What's going to be helpful is balance. So don't throw out the whole rule book. Just look and see what's working and what's not working, and try to be, instead of kind of reactionary, try to be a little more specific about what you think is working and what's not working. Gemini season is the two sides, right? Gemini is the lovers, it's the two sides, and it's actually the inverse of this. The devil is the negative energy of the lovers. I have no choice, which is a total lie, okay? That's a total lie. And justice is kind of coming in the middle there and saying, you know what? You don't have to throw the rule book out, but you also, there's some things here that are kind of good. There's some things that you do that are grounding to you. And so let's not change everything all at once. The other thing that happens is when you change everything all at once, when you make decisions to like throw out the rule book, we have Saturn in retrograde coming up, and that's what I want to talk about in that June video. If you throw out the entire rule book, then you're kind of like, I don't know what's working and what's not working, because I'm no longer doing everything that I used to do. So I wasn't sure what was not working and working then, but now I'm really not sure what the answer is because I've changed everything all at once. So be like a scientist in your life and change one thing. Just change one thing, okay? Change one thing and then see how things go. Is that not enough? Okay, change another thing. So whether you're trying to move in the direction of a new career, right? Incremental is important, because what can happen is you miss the data. Data-driven decisions are the ones that are based on trends. They're based on what's working, what's not working. They're able to isolate things and show you where problems are that you might not have understood that there were problems there before, and where the opportunities are. So if you throw everything out, then you're like, where am I? Like, I'm not sure where I am. King of Wands, Four of Wands, Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, Ace of Wands, the Fool. There's the throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Eight of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Three of Swords, right? So this says to me that there is, when we're dealing with Gemini, we're dealing with the lovers. And Gemini season is in that energy. But Gemini is also curious. Gemini is somebody who is really interested in how things work, the order of things. So I see here that there may be one situation, one person. Let's talk about you and your work. There may be one thing that's gumming up the works, maybe two, okay? Five of Swords and Seven of Swords. There may be some wrong ideas, wrong thinking. There may be some other people kind of mixing things up for you and not really, everybody has their own agenda. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying to you that this is like the quintessential throwing everything out. Ace of Wands and Fool. I'm going to leave everything behind. I'm going to completely change the game of everything I'm doing. I think that there's a short-term win to this. A short-term win, but maybe a more long-term kind of loss. One thing I do know about Gemini season is there's a new love opportunity showing up. We have a Venus in aspect to Uranus, and Uranus is about surprises, okay? And Venus is obviously about love. So there can be some surprises in love. I'll talk more about that in that things to watch out for in June video. But the thing for me here is that Five of Swords and Seven of Swords, there may be some people or situations contributing to you deciding just to throw away the book and start over. And I'm going to say to you that I think that if you think something is 100% on you, like you're the only one that can affect any change, or you're the only one who is doing anything about a thing, I promise you that's not true. There are other forces working on it. Now that may sound a little nebulous to you, but what I'm really getting intuitively is there could be a surprise situation going on for you in Gemini season that has the look of one thing and really is another. So this may look bad, but there's some really good stuff to Saturn. There's some really good reasons to have rules. There's some really good reasons. I mean, think about driving in a town that had no stoplights, no stop signs, no way directional, nothing. So it's just pandemonium. There's accidents everywhere. There's a reason to have those kinds of things. There's a reason to have guardrails on the sides of bridges. Have you ever driven across a bridge? Really big bridge? Even with the guardrails, you're like, oh, okay. Maybe that's just me. Okay. But here's the thing. There's a reason for this, and it's balance. All right. There's a reason to have those things. So some of us who are more in the creative world and things like that can forget sometimes. And, listen, happens to the best of us, can forget that there's a reason why we do things the way we do things. There's a reason why we communicate what we're going to do and then we do it. There's a reason why we believe in what we're doing, and so there's a consistent applied effort every day. Now, if this is a love situation that's coming in, there's definitely, I've seen that quite a bit when we're talking about June and we're talking about Gemini season, which starts in May. I think there's a tendency to kind of run away with yourself, right? Like I talked about with Venus and Uranus happening in June. There's a tendency to be like, this is it. I am going to go with this person. I know that they're my person, like boom, 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 like run away, get married, that whole kind of thing. And I think initially that's like going to be exciting. I was going to say a good idea, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think because of this 3 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords, this makes me feel, those are the 3 swords. Well, all the swords are kind of like, yeah, but, this is saying to me, instead of jumping off, you might want to stop and think. Just for a moment. So those of us who are a little impulsive, who are excited when really good stuff happens, excited when something is like, yes, I'm saying yes to this open door, get yourself a little more grounded. This energy is going to be a little ungrounded. I'm going to clarify these 3 swords. 5 of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. Emperor. 10 of Pentacles. Okay, in the reverse. That says to me that this is not going to last a long time. King of Swords. You've got to see things more clearly. It feels to me like this person that's coming in might try and push you into a commitment of some kind. This could even be a client or something like that, or a new boss could try to push you into a commitment. But I feel like you need to be the King of Swords here. I feel like you need to just, right? That's an Aquarian card, but it's an air sign. So use the energy of the air and feel yourself asking a lot of questions. That's kind of the air sign version of being grounded, is asking a lot of really good questions. Because they're coming from a place of, I don't know, I'm trying to determine things. And when you ask a lot of really good questions, even embarrassing ones, all right, if this is a love partner, like, are you married? What would you change about yourself if you could? You know, the tests for narcissism that I talk about all the time, right? You want to ask yourself, hey self, should I be asking more questions? King of Swords like. And I think you do, because otherwise this isn't going to go far. This isn't going to last forever if you don't really know what you're getting yourself into. 7 of Swords. 4 of Wands. Temperance. Strength in the reverse. My God. And then there's the Lovers card. So we have Gemini and Sagittarius opposing each other here. We have the Strength card in reverse. You might be experiencing a loss of power. Okay, by doing that, you might feel pushed into something. You might feel like the universe is pushing you to do this, right? Archangel Michael is pushing me into this, but you have agency. And don't go blaming this on Archangel Michael, okay? Don't go blaming it on that. I feel like it's an opportunity, but maybe you're misunderstanding what the opportunity is for, okay? I just want to get one around this King of Wands. Three of Pentacles. This is an opportunity to talk and learn. Yes, Ace of Wands again. So Three of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Ace of Wands. I think when you, like I just said, it's an opportunity to learn more about this person, about what they're interested in. Talk. Do a lot of talking with this person before taking a jump. What about the Three of Swords here? This is really the reason I'm saying this. This Three of Swords here. Five of Wands, Page of Swords, Hanged Man, and the Queen of Wands. I do think that there is something about this person who might make you stop. That might make you stop jumping for joy. That might make you kind of like go, all right, I haven't really asked enough questions. And once you do that, I do see that there are some things here. This person might be, somebody who is fiery and passionate. They could be somebody who also doesn't do well with people saying no to them. A little bit. So you're gonna have to be in charge here. And if you're asking a lot of questions and they're getting a little fidgety, I think that that's kind of a red flag to me. But I think that there's a way to be asking these questions. I do think that there's a potential good match here. I don't think you're wrong. I do think it's possible that this person has a little fear around relationship, wants to throw away the rule book and everything like that. But get yourself a little bit more grounded here and allow yourself to ask a lot of questions. All right, let's see where we go with this, because I feel like this person could go either way. I feel like they could be somebody really great, King of Wands, who is a little afraid of letting you out of their sight or letting you kind of think more than once about this situation. I think they do want to have this kind of romantic adventure, but I don't know that it's really that great for you. Okay, so we'll continue on with this. I do see Aries, Sag, Leo, lots of Sag here. I see Gemini. I see Capricorn and Libra. Capricorn, Libra, Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay. All right, Capricorn, Libra, Aries, Leo, Sag, and Gemini. There we go, and Gemini. All right, it's in Gemini season, so why wouldn't Gemini show up? All right, let's keep going. If you want to continue on with me, this is Gemini season. Let's see what happens with this. This is starting right out the gate with Gemini. It could be happening starting this weekend. All right, link is below. If you want to continue on, I'll see you over there.